Okay, great. So welcome to module 5. This is going to be a lot of hands-on tools and techniques and things like that. So let's begin with our module 5. Bring it up on my screen here. Module 5. Okay, so you have the slides and stuff here. Second. Okay. Brilliant. So slides are here, widgets over there. Okay. Now what we're talking about, again, reminder of passive versus active, right? So proactive versus passive. We talked about this earlier, success versus support mentality. And the way you want to develop a team, if you're building a team, is to recruit people who are committed. Even if you as a mentor or other mentors within your team can commit even half an hour, 1 hour a week, that can add up. So now with that half an hour, with that 1 hour, you can really reach out to a large number of new Muslims as a team. And obviously, as we mentioned, we want you to continue developing yourself. How do you become a better coach? How do you influence someone? How do you transform someone? And you have to be accountable. So you want to be sharing your weekly status updates and obviously committing to your own Islamic knowledge and Islamic circles. So you yourself are motivated. And again, the link for our training, the coaching manual, if you will. So what should you think about it? So one of the things that will happen is that it's not, as we have said several times, it's not a role as a teacher. You have to work hard. You have to be consistent. So one thing that can help is to have a gardener analogy. So what does a gardener do? He or she would go and, do the best for the land. Will water them, will provide them with, the best nutrients, watering, sunlight, and so on and so forth, and do their best to go in daily and check them out and water them at the right frequency and whatnot. Now, every land is different. Every earth is different. Some would bear fruit, some may not bear fruits, some may bear faster, some may take time, so on and so forth. Your job as a coach, as a mentor, is to reach out, is to do your best. And sometimes, when we are doing updates, some people would be like, well, I didn't have any response from the mentee, so that's why I'm not updating. Well, as a team, what we are concerned about is to make sure that you are active, you are doing your part, so that we can see as a team that everyone is active. So make sure that you do your updates and you are checking in and you don't give up on that. And as we have mentioned several times before, that sometimes it takes a few months before the new Muslim would actually try to do something, right? Sometimes it's just like a warm-up phase. They're kind of getting into it. They may not have the full time to do it. So you have to keep in touch with them, inshallah. So your success criteria should be your efforts, your own consistency. And if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blesses you and lets you see the development of a new Muslim, alhamdulillah, that's a bonus. So some examples are like you are reaching out to them and they will be like, I'm busy, stress, lots going on. So now you don't want to leave it at that, and you want to say, you know what, I totally understand that. Let's get on a quick call. Let's grab coffee somewhere. Let's have a chat and see what's going on, sort of thing. Other options that you can do is like, I understand you have a lot going on. You're an ambitious person. And, most likely you would always have stuff going on in your life because you will be taking one project after the other and things are going to grow. And sometimes the best way to deal with a situation is to step back, do other activities, go on a walk, and so on and so forth, have a coffee break, for example. So you want to kind of use some of these type of examples or come up with your own to have that, to help them understand that, yes, they're busy and you are also busy, but they need to make time, even if it's half an hour, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and that would help them deal with other challenges in life as well. So one example I like to use that, when we are busy, we still go for coffee breaks or tea breaks, and some people go for smoke breaks, right? And when they do that, they're not thinking that, hey, my coffee break is actually going to make me less productive. They know that this break is necessary for me to come back and deal with whatever I'm dealing with and have a better focus. And also to realize that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hasn't given us the Sharia, hasn't given us the religion in a way that will make you less successful, that will make you less productive in life. Rather, if you were to follow the religion, it will actually make you more productive, more successful in life in general. So that could be another example for them to understand that, look, why don't we treat salah as a coffee break? Actually expecting it to energize you, to help you better focus, to help you deal with whatever you're dealing with in a better way. And these are some other examples, right? So you want to get them to on a call or meet them up. And again, as we mentioned before, if it doesn't work on a weekly basis, then you just don't drop the ball with them. You will move them to monthly follow-ups. Okay, and sometimes, try to use different approaches. So what I've seen is you may be talking to someone on WhatsApp and they stop using WhatsApp, or there's so much going on their WhatsApp. So you may want to just give them a call or send them a regular text message or iMessage or Telegram or Signal. So don't be just stuck to like one medium, because people do change the medium sometime, or they get overwhelmed with one medium. So try a different medium. The second thing is you can change the frequency. So let's say you message them once a week, they're not responding. So move them to once a week. And what would happen then is you would just be messaging them once a month instead of doing it once a week. So the way I do it is I would basically have different contacts, and I would have, some codes. So for example, I might have NW or NMW, which means New Muslim Weekly. I might then move them to NMM, which means New Muslim Monthly. And then I have my own reminder. For example, for me right now, it's Thursday evening. When the reminder comes up, I look at my contacts, and everyone who is marked with NMW, I can bring their contact up. And depending on what the conversation was, I can check in, make sure they're attending either the weekly one-on-one or the weekly group call, or I can also check in about their habits. People who don't want the weekly, then my reminder will come in once a month, and then I can reach out to all the contacts that are marked with NMM. That's my code for monthly. So you can have whatever it is, and then it makes it easier for you to keep track, inshallah. So the third point, it kind of reminds you that, look, sometimes it takes few months. So recently we had a sister that kind of got connected to our team like 8 months ago. 8 months. Okay, we have been, one of the sisters have been keeping in touch with her. I've been inviting her to different programs, and then I think a few weeks ago they invited her to a social program that she finally came to, and now she has started learning salah. So two things that we can learn from here. One is to keep that connection even if the person is not moving forward. Sometimes it takes a while. And second thing we also did was we changed the mentor for her. So now she has a different primary mentor than the one that she had before. And what that does, it doesn't mean that the first one wasn't good enough. What can happen sometimes is, you just have a different connection with different people, age, mentality, interest, hobbies, different approaches to life. So it's okay to have someone else reach out. So, if your contact hasn't been responding, give it to some other brother, some other sister. They can reach out and say, hey, I'm part of the team. I know it hasn't been going well. You were busy. I just wanted to reach out and see if we can restart and reestablish your mentorship program. So that can also help. And sometimes also psychologically speaking, one gets in the habit of saying no to one person, but if it's a new, fresh relationship, they wouldn't be saying, oh no, I'm busy and this and that, right? So try that in as a team as well. Okay, so this is, some of the steps that can happen. And now we'll move on to the mindset of coaches. So what happens, some of the challenges that the coaches, the mentors, they themselves face is that they may get bored or disheartened, because they come in and they think, oh, it's just going to be like, I'm going to be teaching salah and wudu and answering questions. They don't realize that this you're not like in a teacher's role. You have to do dawah. It takes time. It's like a gardener process. It takes time for you to see the fruits. Some people will be like, I don't want to push. Well, this is dawah, right? So there will be some pushing. Okay. So imagine if you see someone who is destined to destroy themselves or walking in front of a traffic, wouldn't you just pull them out of that? Wouldn't you remind them that they shouldn't do it? So again, you need to, just like everything else in Islam, you need to have a balance. You can't be just fully passive, okay, do whatever you want, and you can't be like pushing them every day. So I think this notion of once a week touch base and letting them set their own goals is not too much. Once a week, I don't think it's too much. And again, if it becomes like that for the person and they seem to be taking time, then you can say, you know what, I'll just check in monthly with you. When you have more time, more ready, then let's do a weekly. Okay. And also sometimes, someone may get enough information and they understand what's going on. even for those people, I would still try to keep in touch with them once a month, as opposed to just like, totally taking my hands off them. Because even if the person has gone through the mentorship program, is integrated in the community, many times it can happen that they need that follow-up and that once a month check-in. And sometimes I've seen that someone may be praying and then I move them to once a month, and then, you check in and they're like, yeah, things have actually dropped off. And I say, okay, let's get on a call. Let's see what's going on. Let's put in some new habits. Let's see what we can do, inshallah, to work on that. And if you're not sure, just ask them, is once a week too much? I'm checking with you on Thursday evening. Is that good? Should I do a different day? Whatever, right? So you can have that proper communication instead of just guessing and just like, taking your hands off. Okay, so now we'll go in the next point, which is about content, right? So the 4 pillars that we talked about, how you can actually work on that, inshallah.